Hey, the question in discussion today is, why does my anxiety get worse at night? If you're going through this right now, I want you to know this one thing, having been there myself, and as someone who helps people come out of anxiety quickly within one conversation, I can tell you that this is a temporary phase. It will pass as long as you want it to. So let's dive right in. As you think of anxiety, the one thing that you really seek to find is relief, is it not? And as you think of relief, the one thing that comes to mind is relaxation. The easiest way to find relief is through relaxation. And if you were to think about relaxation, then the one thing that comes to mind is sleep. And as you think of sleep, what comes to your mind immediately is the sun going down, nighttime, dim lights, good clean bed, and that warm blanket of yours with your favorite cushions and pillow. All of these things can make you feel really comfortable, but if you are going through anxiety related insomnia, those are the exact things that can cause you anxiety. And if you're going through this right now, I can understand where you are at. As you see the sun go down, there is a sense of fear that comes in. What if I cannot sleep tonight? What if all those thoughts begin to haunt me once again tonight? So I understand what you're going through. So let's try and break this down and address this conundrum. The one thing that can give you relief, relaxation, is your sleep, and the very idea of going to sleep night after night is causing you anxiety. And your question to me today is, why does my anxiety get worse at night? So, speaking of anxiety, I can think of one example. Back in Mumbai, when we have heavy rains, there are howling winds at high velocity that hits the cars that are parked outside. And when that happens, the anti-theft alarms on many of those cars begin to go off. Now that can be really annoying for people who are living nearby. But if you think about it, the anti-theft alarm is not really such a problem. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The cars have the movement because of the winds, and then they go off. It's very much the same with your anxiety. It's a primal response. It's a very old response in almost every organism on this planet, which is the flight or fight response when the organism is under a physical threat. And this is the key word, my friend, physical threat. Now, when it comes to human beings, we may or may not be under physical threat for the anxiety to kick in. So as soon as we have an emotional threat or a thought that is really disturbing us, the body does not understand what that is. It takes it as a physical threat and releases the same chemical combinations in your body which the flight or fight response demands. Now, why do you have these chemicals? So that you can get into action and save yourself, either by fleeing or by fighting. Now, in our case, because there is no fighting and there is no fleeing, in most cases when these things happen, the body takes all of these chemicals and we begin to feel what is called discomfort. It's uncomfortable. We feel it, we sense it in the ways of our thoughts, we sense it in the way our body reacts. So sometimes the heart goes racing, sometimes our mind is just racing with so many thoughts back to back. So these are all reactions of the flight or fight response, which is what your anxiety really is. Now, there are two ways of looking at this problem. One is to look at all of these symptoms and try to find relief. Okay, if you're having a heart palpitation and your heart is racing, if you're having stomach issues, if you can't sleep at night, what you want to do is start addressing those one by one. And when you do that, all that you're doing is resolving the symptom. Okay, we are not fixing the problem. The second way of going about doing is find out what the problem is, resolve it, and the symptom will take care of itself. Does that make sense? Okay, so most of the times, unfortunately, because it is uncomfortable, we want to find some way to stop the discomfort. And I understand that relief is an important aspect of all of these things. Now, you see, we human beings are funny creatures. When we are uncomfortable, when there's a slight discomfort, somehow our attention is drawn to it. And it's important that we do that. When our attention is on the discomfort, we're able to go beneath that layer, and then we're able to finally figure out what is going on. Now, in this case, anxiety is caused by something which is unknown to us. All problems are in the unconscious mind. And unconscious mind simply means that it's the mind that we don't have direct access to. We can't read the information directly over there. Okay? So it's really like, I've given this example in the past, it's really like having a boil or a rash on your back, which you can't directly see, or on your neck, you can't see it, right? You need someone else to spot that for you. But the best thing, the good news is that once the problem is seen by you, once you're sitting with a professional who can show that to you, you don't need to get the solution from the professional. Your unconscious mind will not just give you one, but many resources out of which you can pick the best one that works for you. So I want you to think about something right now. Even as you're going through this situation, the solution is already within you. Even as you're struggling with sleeping at night, even as the anxiety is going up at night, I want you to know that the best solution is inside of you. I'm not the one who's going to give it to you if I was to work as your therapist. But here's the question for you. Would you want to settle down for symptom relief, or would you want to find out what the problem is and let the solution come to you automatically from the unconscious mind? Because solution can just be one conversation away for you, my friend. If you're ready to do this, then go ahead and check out my pages. You can on Facebook, you can check out my Instagram handle as well, which is sunnyjob.unblocklife. You will find testimonials there. Look at the people that I've been working with, what they've been telling about our conversations, and instead of taking years, months, weeks, or even days, if it can be done in just one conversation, think about the kind of solution that you've been looking for years together now. So reach out to me if you want to have a conversation, and know that solution and thus relief from all of these pains of not sleeping at night can just be one conversation away for you. I wish you all the best, my friend. Take care.